Hey guys, my name's Taylor and I've been a personal trainer here at AToN Center for about 4.5 years now. I'm one of those people who can honestly say I really love coming into work every day. I have a really unique position and a unique job where I get to help people join their mental health with their physical health. Now, mental and physical health are extremely important components of life no matter what's going on in the world, but especially right now in the middle of a pandemic, it's particularly important. This time is challenging for everyone. Daily life has changed, stressors are really high, the things that we used to rely on are in a constant state of flux and change, and there's just a lot of unknowns overall, which just contributes to more stress. So working out is one of the best choices and the best decisions that we can make in order to reduce stress and help increase the health of our minds and our bodies. So working out does that by increasing the release of neurotransmitters called endorphins, and that helps you to regulate your mood, and it can decrease stress and relieve some pain. So if you're sitting here thinking, I just don't have the time to work out, or I'm so tired I can't even think of working out even if I wanted to, maybe you have a lot of stressors going on at work, maybe in your personal life, maybe you're getting accustomed to homeschooling your kids, working out actually is going to help you relieve a lot of that stress, as counterintuitive as it might sound. So that's what I'm here today to show you, is a really simple modifiable workout that you can fit into your schedule. It's not going to take up an hour, hour and a half like you feel like you have to put in at the gym, something like that. All it's going to require is your body. You don't need any equipment, you can do everything at home, and all of the movements are going to be easily modifiable depending on your ability and your familiarity with exercise in general. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you guys do 8 different movements, and they're going to be on a clock. So you're going to work for 40 seconds, rest for 20 seconds, and then you'll switch to the next station. You'll go through all 8, and then you can choose to do either 1 round or 2 rounds. That way you can work within that 40 seconds at whatever your capacity is. Maybe you can push yourself really hard for all 40 seconds. Maybe you work for 10, rest for 10, work for 10, rest for 10, something like that. It just gives you the ability to kind of move at your own pace, get used to the workout, and then you can adjust day by day if you want to make it harder. Okay guys, here are the 8 movements we're going to do for today. First you're going to do jumping lunges, then you're going to do push-ups, then body weight squats, then sit-ups, then you're going to do box step-ups or box jump-ups, then plank hold, wall sit, and burpees. Alright, first movement is jumping lunges. So I'm going to show you a couple key points of performance for this movement. So you're going to get into a wider stance, and you want your feet in front of each hip. So I don't want you in railroad tracks where you're wobbly like this. See, I almost fell over. So right behind your hips, you're going to drop to 90 degrees with the back knee, 90 degrees with the front knee. You don't have to touch that bottom knee, because when you're jumping and switching legs, I don't want you to hurt your kneecap. So just go right, hovering that back knee, and then you're going to jump, switch sides, lower, jump, switch sides. You can use your hands if you want to. You can keep your hands on your hips. Doesn't matter. I kind of like to keep mine right in front of me, almost in like a little prayer position as you jump and switch. Alright, second movement is going to be push-ups, and there's a couple different variations for this depending on your upper body strength, and then whether you want to focus more on your chest and your shoulders or more on your triceps. So I'm going to show you a couple variations of those. Starting first with the knees variation. So you're going to be on your knees, and what I want you to focus on is keeping your hips pressed forward. I don't want your butt back like this and doing a push-up like this, because that's really not going to do anything for you, right? So your hips are going to be forward, stack your shoulders over your wrists, and then you can do 2 different variations from here. You can do a tricep push-up, keeping your elbows nice and close, and then pointing them back towards your hips. Or you can bring your hands a little bit wider, still on the knees, same variation in your upper body and torso. Elbows go out to the side as you lower your chest to the ground. Then the other variations are going to be just the same 2 variations with your arms, but you're going to be off of your knees. So this will be more upper body strength overall. Again, shoulders over the wrists, hips leaning forward, nice straight line. Arms are gonna go back for a tricep push-up, elbows nice and close, and up, down, and up, or a little bit wider through the hands, elbows out to the side, up and down, just like that. All right, the third movement is gonna be body weight squats. So this one's pretty straightforward, pretty simple. You wanna make sure your feet are about hips width distance, maybe a little bit wider. This is gonna vary depending on everyone's differing anatomy, but just try to get comfortable with your feet a little bit externally rotated, but not too far, nothing like this, right? And then you're gonna hinge at your hips as the hips go back and down at the same time, and then stand up. Make sure you get full extension, your hips come forward, your hips go back and down. Now you wanna make sure you basically go as far as you can, but if here is fine for you, it bugs your knees, just go here. If you can go a little bit further, go a little bit further. Just like this, up and down, body weight squats, 40 seconds. Your arms can do whatever. I kinda like to do this, just methodical, really. The fourth movement is gonna be sit-ups. So I'm gonna get down on the ground and show you guys a couple different variations of how to do these guys. So you're gonna just want a mat, something comfortable underneath your bum. But this is the first modification. So just gonna put your hands behind your head and you're just gonna sit up to as far as you can. So kind of like your traditional crunch. I don't want your chin to your chest like this, but lifting up nice and tall, almost like you're trying to put your chest up towards the sky. Now if you have a little bit more range of motion in your sit-up, you can use your hands for a little momentum and you can sit all the way up. Hands behind your head and then use them as a little momentum to sit all the way up just like that. Both variations completely fine. Keep your knees bent, feet on the ground. You can have your heels up if you want, just like that. Now we're gonna do either box jumps or step ups. So you can choose the variation you want. I'm gonna just use this little bench right here that's outside. You can use anything that's stable. If you have a staircase, something like that, just make sure it's stable. Don't jump up on your kitchen chair or anything like that, okay? So I'm gonna show you step ups first. So this is a little bit more modified variation. You're just gonna step up with your right leg, step down with your right leg, then alternate sides, up with your left, down with your left. And you're just gonna alternate like that for the 40 seconds. Now that's the box step up variation. The box jump up variation is the same, except you're gonna move both legs at the same time. So you wanna use your hands for a little momentum, get into a little power squat, jump up onto your bench or your stool, stand up straight, step down, don't jump down. Ready? Jump up, stand up straight, step down. One more time, jump up, stand up straight, step down. The fifth movement is going to be a plank hold. So this one's gonna be a little bit similar to the push-ups with the variations on your knees and on your toes. So I'll start with the knee variation. Hands are gonna come forward right underneath your shoulders, just like you did for the push-ups. Hips forward, knees on the ground, your toes are tucked, and you're just gonna hold the plank just like this. And then there's another variation for your arms if you want. You can come down onto your forearms like this, like you're making the number 11 with your hands. The hips are still forward. I don't want them back like this. Nice and forward, pulling your belly button in towards your spine. Then the other variation will be just the same, except you're gonna be up on your toes, off of your knees, shoulders over your wrists, just like this for the plank hold on your hands, just like this for the plank hold on your forearms. The seventh movement is a wall sit. So you're just gonna find a wall, anything you can find in your house, outside, whatever you got. Lean up against that wall. Make sure your feet are hips width distance apart first. Your knees are behind your toes, so your feet are far enough out so that your knees are back. You don't want your knees forward like this. Your hips press against the wall, and then you want to come down far enough so that your hips are in line with your knees. If that's too hard for you, just come a little bit higher, different angle, not quite so tough on the quads. Whatever variation you find. The last movement is gonna be burpees, and I like to call this one a baby burpee because we're gonna take out the push-ups since we already did those, right? So you're gonna start standing, place your hands on the ground, step back into a plank, step forward, jump and clap your hands overhead, okay? So a couple variations you can do like that. I'll show you the harder one first, and then the second one will be a little bit of a modification. So hands down, jump your feet back, jump forward, clap your hands overhead, down, jump, jump, jump. So all jumping. Second one, gonna take out the jumps. Hands on the ground, step, step, and then just stand and bring your hands overhead. I'll show you again. Hands down, step, 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 step. Hands overhead, no jumping. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Remember, no one ever regrets a workout.